What's good? It's your Bowie. You know what it is. So you ever thought about the words that you speak, the thoughts in your mind, even your environment could be setting you up for failure or for success? Have you ever thought about that? Well, if you haven't, today is the day that you think about that. So, sowing and reaping. Just like a farmer, if I have crop, I prepare my land, I plant my seed, and I wait 3, 4, 5 months, however long it takes to reap that harvest. Well, just like a farmer, you have a seed that you will sow into the universe. Those seeds consist of thoughts, words, and even actions. Now, once you put those seeds into the universe, just like the farmer's crop, there's going to be a growing period, gestational period, right? It's going to grow. And at some point, you will reap that harvest. Okay? So hopefully you're following me. So just like a farmer, if I plant seeds out of my mind, out of the words that I speak, and I put them into the universe, I'm going to get those back. And I'm going to either get back positive things or I'm going to get back negative things. So in the law of opposites, right? There's a negative, there's a positive, there's an in, there's an out. There's a living, there's a dying, right? There's a sowing, there's a reaping. So I'm going to get back whatever it is that I put out, and the importance of what you put out can be an absolute major game changer for you and whatever it is you're trying to accomplish in life. So if you're struggling financially, most likely the thoughts that come into your mind are the thoughts of lack, of what you see right now related to your bank account, related to the bills that are coming into your mailbox, related to the paycheck that you're getting and how you don't believe that you'll be able to cover all of your bills. That is what you're getting back, because guess what, folks? Those are the thoughts that have high priority in your mind. You're not thinking about the positive. You're not thinking about, my finances are increasing. I am going to receive a job that is going to pay me higher salary. I'm getting ready to receive a promotion. But what you're thinking about is, I don't have enough money. How am I going to keep the lights on? How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for that? You see where I'm going with this? All right, let's look at another example. Some of you aren't in a relationship or can't find that right person, not because that person doesn't exist and not because you're not worthy of that person, but because the negative thoughts that exist in your mind. Oh, this person's too good to be true. They gotta be lying. They gotta be hiding something. I don't trust that. I'm just gonna wait. I know that right now it is what it is, but they're lying to me. I know that there's something about that person. I just can't wait. Nah, I don't trust it. I don't trust them. You ever heard of that person before? You know somebody like that? Raise your hand if you know somebody like that. If you didn't raise your hand, it's you. No, I'm just playing. But listen, all I'm trying to get you guys to understand, like, the spiritual laws that exist, the things that we put into the universe will absolutely give you those things back in return. So you have to realize that the words that you speak, the thoughts that you think, the environment that you're around, it is setting you up for success or setting you up for failure. It doesn't work any other way. You could be the hardest working person out here, and that means nothing, because as hard as you're working equally hard or harder in your negative thoughts that you're putting out, or in the words that you're putting out. Like, you know, if you're in business, for example, and you're knocking on doors, you best have a positive attitude about that. You better be like, all right, well, I'm getting a yes at this house. I'm getting a yes at this house. Not, yeah, this person's probably going to tell me no too. This person's probably going to tell me no too. The last 5 said no. This is probably going to be number 6. You can't do that, y'all, because you're going to absolutely give up, number 1. Number 2, you're going to get back every negative thing that you put out. So sowing and reaping is real. It's in the Bible. I believe it's Ecclesiastes, if I'm not too far off, where it speaks about there's a time to live, there's a time to die, there's a time to sow, there's a time to reap. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, that God has given us the blueprint. God is everywhere, everywhere. So if you don't think that God doesn't know your mind, your thoughts, your words, you are absolutely mistaken. You are wrong. God is everything. God is everything. This video camera that I'm using right now is God. That is the energy that exists. All right, it's everywhere. Okay? So you got to understand that your thoughts are setting you up for success, or they're setting you up for failure too. So to all my people out there who are in the struggle, like Kirk Franklin said, all my people in the struggle, listen, you got to understand, you can absolutely change everything about your setup right now. And I'm telling you this because I know this. You know, I mentioned a book a while back in another video, The Game of Life and How to Play It. I believe Scoville is the author. You need to read that book. That is exactly what I'm talking about right now, and how you can begin today to change the overall outcome of your life. Like, you've got to position yourself now to be a positive person, an optimist, not a pessimist. You will get nowhere in life being a pessimist. You got to look at the glass half full. You got to look at anything that's in front of you, an obstacle, I'm growing. You got to look at no's as I'm sowing. You got to look at the positive, because that is number 1, what's going to keep you motivated. You know, I talked in other videos about your why, you know, not to get into that now, but your why should be what keeps you motivated and persistent. But you also got to know that whatever you're doing is not in vain. You got to look at, why am I doing it, number 1. Number 2, what are you doing? I'm sowing. So what if you get 30 no's? You only need 1 yes. 30 no's, you only need 1 yes. You may have thousands of ideas, and you may have tried those thousands of ideas, but you only need 1 idea to get rich. So start thinking about positive thoughts. Think of things that, look at where you want to be. See yourself already doing that. See yourself getting that promotion. See yourself, you know, putting money in the bank. See yourself getting checks in the mail. Like, it works. It works, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm a living example of positive and negative thoughts. I never even knew that I was a negative thinker. You never, and of course, you're not that person, right? You don't ever think yourself of being a negative thinker, but unless you are aware of it, and the only way that you're going to be aware is you got to begin to self-develop yourself. You have to be able to look at and evaluate what's really currently going on in your life to get to where you want to go. And you can't figure that out on your own, because if you would have been able to do it, you would be already where you're supposed to be. So I need somebody to understand, like, you cannot do it by yourself. All things are possible through Christ, but you have to be willing to take action to change your life, your current situation. And speaking life into yourself, speaking positivity into yourself and your mind is going to take you where you need to go. Just like you're speaking positive life into your child. You know, I heard someone say the other day, you know, I don't even remember the conversation, but like, yeah, you know, child, he ain't going whatever. I don't even remember what it was, but the mother was like already speaking that negative thought into her child's life. Like, parents, you got to stop doing that. You got to stop doing that, like, because there's no way that I'm going to set my son up for failure subconsciously. He doesn't even know it, but as he grows older, you keep giving your child those negative thoughts. They hear you speaking negatively about them. What do you think is going to happen? And the only person you can blame is you. You sowed that negative seed in your child's life, and now your son or your daughter, years later, is experiencing that negative seed. They're getting the negative harvest that you were sowing in their lives when they were just a toddler. You got to stop doing these things, and if you haven't thought about it, think about it starting now, because what I'm telling you is real. Man, lack doesn't exist. Lack only exists because you created lack in your life. Poverty doesn't exist. Poverty is there because you let poverty keep you where you are. You know, listen, you can agree to disagree. You can agree to disagree. We live in a world full of abundance, right? And I'm not saying that everybody out here has gets to the success faster. Some of us have to work a little bit harder, or have to outwork the next person, because there's some other things that get in the way. But in terms of being able to take your life into your own hands and absolutely being able to sow positivity into your life, everybody has that same opportunity. Everybody has that same opportunity. So let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. You know, if you believe in God and you know that God is almighty, the abundance of every resource that we have, then you should begin to know from this video that you can change everything about your situation by simply thinking different, speaking different. You know, read the Bible. You get all the positive affirmations you need out of that. Talk to yourself on a regular basis. Tell yourself, I am a winner. I am a winner. I am going to succeed. Success is attracted to me. You know, talk to yourself. These are the things that you got to do to get your mind in the right direction. So again, I talk about it all the time, not to be a parrot, repeating myself, but I do these videos for me. This is a reminder for me. I'm ministering to me, reminding myself on an everyday basis why I'm doing what I do, what I'm able to do through the energy and the power that God gives all of us. Just some of us get it. And if you want to get it, you can get it, but you got to begin to develop yourself, and one day it just clicks. Man, listen, all this stuff that I'm telling you right now, man, I struggled a long time to really be at the level that I'm at now, and I have not arrived. I still have a long way to go, but I am not the same Jay that I was this time last year, or even 6 months ago, or even 3 months ago, or even last week. I'm a work in progress every day. And why? Because I know I deserve to live a certain life. My family deserves to live a certain life, and I will no longer allow those things that I didn't realize were holding me back to hold us back. And you should want the same thing too, man. So I love y'all, man, and I will never stop doing what I'm doing. But you guys gotta, at some point, you gotta take the life raft. Stop drowning in the sea of negativity. Take this life raft, man. Get on. Let's get to safety. Let's begin to develop ourselves. Let's turn everything about our negative situation right now. Let's turn it into positive. All right. So love y'all, man. Y'all keep God first. Love the person in the mirror. Love your family. I'll see you soon. Peace.